Now, getting back to this concept of alternate accounts and how easy it is to do it. It's very easy. Most accounts nowadays, you just need an email. You can go to Gmail, Yahoo, mail.com. I mean, you can go all sorts of places now and get an email account very easily. Once you get that email account, you can set up an account. You can set up 10 Facebook pages. I had a lady, elderly lady, that the fourth request for friendship, I finally figured out it was the same woman. I don't know what she was doing. She seemed to be one of these people that's just a Facebook fanatic. But it was the fourth time she asked to be my friend. I figured out something was wrong. She was asking to be friended with taking her name and putting in different juxtapositions. And when I finally figured out what was going on, and did a search on it, I found that it was the same woman. In fact, it was her same profile picture for all 4 accounts. So I had 4 of them there from the same person on my Facebook page, and I'm like, I just deleted all of them and turned her in as spam. I mean, I don't know what her gig was. I don't know if I don't know if you get advertising with Facebook or is there some reason you want to have 10 Facebook accounts and be on the same page? I don't know. But getting back to this concept of multiple accounts or alternate accounts, it's not a big deal. And Forrest Fenn is a human being, and he's an American citizen, and Forrest Fenn can have 100 accounts if he wants. And they don't have to alert you to the fact it's Forrest Fenn. And if he wants to go in and kind of mingle among the people like one of the gods coming down from Mount Olympus, so be it. I think it would be fun for him to do, to be able to mingle in with the other searchers or the searchers, and for them not to know who he is and just talk to him like a normal person. It's funny to think that Forrest Fenn could literally tell us where the treasure is, and if he's on there as Happy Pudding, probably we'd blow off what he's saying and say, yeah, nice idea, I already thought of it, or don't believe it, or whatever. It's funny, isn't it? And he could do that. We'd never be the wiser. Time for a little story time. I thought of this when I was thinking of the whole concept of Forrest Fenn. I had that kind of concept. It's almost like the god mingling with the mortals if he does log in with an alternate account. And I find it amusing that he could do that. And so it reminded me of something from my Latin class days in high school. I was in Latin class. Gosh, I think I was in it for 3 years. It was cool. I liked it. Because a lot of Latin class was us reading about things like, Caesar and the Gallic Wars and, Greek mythology and all kind of cool stuff. So, this is a story about Zeus and Hermes and Philemon and Bacchus. Not Bacchus, not Bacchus, but Bacchus. And it reminded me very much of the concept of Forrest intermingling with us. I mean, it's an extreme example, right? I don't hold Forrest Fenn on some pedestal. I think he's a very smart guy, and I think he's a great guy, and I think what he's doing is fantastic. I think this treasure hunt is such a wonderful pastime, distraction, hobby, whatever you want to call it for searchers. I can't even tell you. I literally probably think of it every day. I tell myself I'm not obsessed with it, yet I'm doing videos on it. I'm reading blogs on it. I'm reading the vlogs on it. I really need to get back and read that. I really need to do what Forrest Fenn says to do. Read that poem 10 times in a row. Then read Thrill of the Chase. Read that poem 10 times in a row. Then read Thrill of the Chase. I said to someone's comment the other day, I said, he was saying, what would you guys put off to, what would you substitute your daily act? It was something like, what would you do to find the treasure rather than what you're already doing? And I said, well, I would read the poem 10 times, read Thrill the Chase. Read the poem 10 times, read Thrill the Chase. I would do that all day, every day, instead of watching Netflix or going to see movies or going out and having lunch and all that fun stuff that you do when you're retired and don't really have to do anything. And I would just do that every day and repeat it until I hit that magic spot where I go, because of repeating the poems many times and reading Thrill the Chase, suddenly the words all have meaning and all of it collapses into one understandable meaning and solve for the treasure. May it ever be so. That's what I should be doing instead of this video. I feel like I've read the poem so many times already. And I've read Thrill the Chase. Okay, never mind. Zeus and Hermes disguised themselves as humans and took a long journey on Earth. They disguised themselves as poor travelers and went and knocked on the doors of many houses. But of course, typically, no one's going to take them in. Kind of reminds you of the manger story, doesn't it? You know, a lot of these ancient myths all kind of co-join in different ways throughout history, and then they come out in things like the Bible and other things. So these two gods basically are going around and they're finding that people are pretty damn nasty. They keep opening their doors and saying, hell no, we're not giving you any food. Hell no, you can't stay here tonight. And these two gods are walking along and they're kind of going, you know, these human beings, they got to stick up their butt and they're not really cool. And all of a sudden they come across the poor hut of the poor couple, Philemon and Bacchus. Here comes trouble. Hey, buddy. Can I close the doors? It's kind of cool today, but it's warm too. Yeah, you big old boy. The green screen, behind the green screen is now one of... anybody that has cats know that cats love to have their special places all around the house. And then they'll change over during the seasons of different special places. Now behind the green screen has become one of Tober's special places. How you doing? You want to say hello to everybody? Oh. I know. Yeah. You don't even know you're on camera, do you? You're a good old... Whoops, what was that out the window? There's a window over there. Okay, buddy, you're a good boy. I'm going to close up this soon. We're closing doors up. So, the gods are traveling along, walking on the ground. No one will open the door. They finally get to the home of Bacchus and Philemon, who have a little hut, very modest. But they say, sure you can come in, and sure you can spend the night. Whoa! Okay, that was... Tober just caused major earthquakes in Mount Olympus. Okay, it looks normal again. You are so funny, buddy. He headbutted that camera tripod like, man. Story is really getting the crap beat out of it, isn't it? So Philemon and Bacchus let the two gods in, not knowing they're gods. They're dressed in ragged clothes. They give them food. They give them shelter. They let them rest. Hermes and Zeus are so overwhelmed with the humility and the humanity and the general coolness of Philemon and Bacchus. They turn their home into a temple. It's a big change, big tax hike, no doubt. Turn into a temple, and they make Philemon a priestess and Bacchus a priest for the rest of their days. I can only assume this is a good job. But the couples have a request. They love each other so dearly that they say to the gods, I mean, they know they're gods now because they just changed their little hut into a big temple, made them the priest and the priestess. They say, when our time comes to die, we do not want to grieve for one another. Can you allow us to die together? Odd request. I'm not sure it'd be the top of my wish list if I had a genie of a bottle or met some gods who could grant wishes. But whatever. These are really loving people. They're all heart. The gods say, of course, we will allow you to die at the same time. They did finally die together, wrapped in each other's arms, gasping out their last breath, a little bit of blood spittle on each other. Philemon, Bacchus, Philemon, Bacchus. Sorry, I could never be reverent. I could never be a priest or anything like that because I would just bust out laughing in the middle of sermons and stuff. I'm sorry, it's true. And then, of course, happens the famous thing that always was the thing that struck me about it. When they died together, there sprouted from their burial a co-joined tree of linden and oak. Not sure what a linden tree is. And this is the famous co-joined tree growing out of the same trunk. The linden tree and the oak tree. And there are many paintings showing that romantic thing where you have these two trees. You can kind of see the people in them. And they're hugging for eternity as trees. A little strange. But, what do you want? It's Greek mythology. Yep, there he goes behind his green screen. Tober is now taking up residence behind Mount Olympus. Hopefully we will not see the mountain shaking or see huge claws come ripping through the mountains. So, continuing on with this concept of... and the point of that is, obviously, you never know who you're meeting. It's a parable that has different stories I've read, but the concept's always the same. Watch out who you're not nice to. But unfortunately, as we get older, watch out who you're nice to too. Because you see, God, you watch the ID channel, man, you're nice to people. They're all stabbing you and killing you. It's terrible. But anyway, you never know who you're being nice to or not nice to. It may turn out to be somebody very important. Maybe getting advice from somebody very important, and you don't even know it. Forrest Fenn could be online saying his name is Hasty Pudding and telling you where the place is, and you're going, you're an idiot. Get out of here. Got a name like Hasty Pudding. Get out of here. Still thinking about the Mr. Maldonado. Who the hell is the likes of Mr. Maldonado in the government agency? It must be a movie or something. I'm sure I'll get a comment on it. Someone will know. Okay, back to the theme of alternate accounts in the Fenn hunt. Someone wrote me, I'll put his name up on the screen. Someone wrote me and he said, he said, I agree with what you're saying about the alternate accounts. He said, I saw something on a Jenny Kyle page where I literally was convinced from reading the back and forth that the questioner and the answerer were both Fenn. Fenn was essentially giving himself a Q&A online, and nobody even knew it. But he's using alternate accounts. So... or maybe he meant that Fenn was online talking to someone and he thought the other person was Fenn. I don't know. But anyway, he was convinced of it. And he said, this thing you talked about with alternate accounts to me is not at all unlikely. I think it's absolutely going on. Heck, we know it's going on because it's just going on. I mean, plenty of people have more than one account and sometimes like the anonymity of making an account not reflect it's them. And it affords you a lot of leeway. You can go in, and we all know you can go in and be a jerk sometimes. But you can also go in and just say things that are on your mind. I know some people in this day when politics has become such a contentious issue, people like to go online and talk politics, but they don't put their name and home address on there. You don't want to get a brick through your window. It's sad it's come to this point in this country, but it has.